Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, or good middle of the night. If you are Alex, thank you for joining. We've got an OTSL silver game today. Chris Flynn, Browning Gentry. Oh, okay. Good to know. Maybe it's better now. We will go ahead and get started with Browning against Chris. This is game 2 of their series. I showed game 1 last week. Browning won that one. So the two players have switched sides. And off we go. So Browning will be the USSR today. Oh, thank you, Alex. Confused as to why that's happening. Okay, let me figure out my microphone issue here. Thank you for flagging me on that, Alex. All right, hold on just one moment. Okay. All right, we're going to try this. And if my voice is echoing, you guys can mute me if you like. I apologize for any technical difficulties. Let's get back to it. So we're watching from Browning's side again. Browning is the USSR. And turn one hand, not too good. He's got duck, which is nice. Okay, thank you, Alex. He's got duck, which can be used perhaps for a Malaysia coup. He's got AI War, which is a decent headline. No problem cards to speak of. Probably will hold 5-year plan. Looks like we're going to see a Marshall headline from Chris. Okay, Cambridge 5 makes sense as well. Obviously not going to hit Middle East, and if it hits Europe, it's going to do very little. But Cambridge 5 hit of Asia would be huge. I don't know. I think I might have gone with... AI War over C5 in this particular instance. With against a standard setup, same Cambridge 5 is good because if it hits Europe, you can take France. Oh, but Browning gets a big hit. So ignore everything I say. He gets a huge hit on Cambridge 5 in Asia, and that will probably change his plans. And so he's going to coup. Oh, no. Oh, that's that now because that one needed to go into Lao to get domination. If you're Browning, now Chris can immediately score Asia for just -1, which has to be what he's going to do. I don't know why he would do anything else. I'm very surprised that Browning would not take domination there. Obviously, you're cooing with duck. If you go into Lao, you have domination and put a bunch of pressure on Chris. Now, of course, Chris could have a 4-op and go Pakistan, South Korea, and instantly change Asia to his own domination. But of course, Thailand will stop that, and that is an unnecessarily risky move. Oh my goodness, he's going to take a coup and lower DEFCON to 2. All right. Yeah, this has to take domination. Okay, so instead of taking Thailand, he does take domination by going Laos and Malaysia to try and fight on country count. So I think this would be a 4-op play. This should be a 4-op play. Pakistan and South Korea, I think, would be my play. If I had a 4. If not, I'd still take Pakistan. 1, 2. Yeah, you're not going to fight this on country count. Yeah, you're not going to fight this on country count if you're Chris. So yeah, this should be independent Reds. 1 Thailand, 1 Indonesia for sure. Okay. I guess I can understand that, because now if Chris takes India, we can just take South Korea. Yeah. And now Browning should just take South Korea. Yep, that's exactly what he does. Now India won't stop Dom. He's down, and Chris is down 5 countries to 2 in Asia. So he's going to eat an Asia Dom when he didn't have to. A mistake by Browning not to take domination in the headline, but a bigger one by Chris not to just dump the scoring when he had the chance. Okay, Korean War. Oh, and he had the war, so he could have used a 4-op to go Pakistan and South Korea. Browning makes sure he locks in his Dom. Also, this whole time, Lebanon has not been taken. And Middle East present. There it is. There's Asia. And now Browning will be able to take Lebanon for Middle East presence. Yeah, and I don't understand the Philippines play by Chris. That should have been Lebanon. Yeah, no, so it should be Lebanon. AI war could be a good headline next turn, but I think you don't want to use. You want to hold on to 5-year plan for Europe. You want to hold on to blockade for next turn to potentially event. Okay. So Chris, Browning rather, decides to take Lebanon and put 1 into Iraq. Normally, I really don't like the 1 into Iraq if you're not going to just take it. But here it's not bad. Okay, and CNS will pull back 2 VPs. Okay, turn 2 hand. Also, I don't necessarily want to say garbage, but it's not good. No Europe attack cards. No access cards, no 4-op, and I guess Indo-Pac is the no-brainer headline, but Asia is scored and there's defectors. Okay, so I think we'll just see a coup of Iran here, presumably. UN of NORAD, I think, is fine. Okay, he rolls a 4. And so I have to imagine. So I think we've seen Marshall, we've seen U.S. Japan, but no other 4s. So I imagine we'll just see Iran take it back here. I don't think there should be any reason to concede Iran. It's a good question. If I have to UN 5-year plan or 5-year plan UN, I think I generally UN 5-year plan. I think. I don't know. So yeah, UN, a quick UN of NORAD. I think I agree with Jordan. I think I would have cooed Iran with EEU. I think it's a card we're pretty clearly giving here, and then we could space NORAD if we really want to, or just UN it. Oh my goodness! Dumps Europe scoring rather than retaking Iran. Now Browning will be able to set up a comfortable domination in the Middle East. I don't understand that from Chris at all. If he were purged, then I like the play because he can anticipate a quick blockade, but that's not the case. And now he's eliminating himself from the Middle East, which makes no sense at all, particularly because it is yet to be scored. That's a situation. So you score Europe, and then you can use Suez to go into Egypt first before you trigger it, and then Suez really does very little. JR points out correctly that Chris is in Turkey, so he can walk back into Syria. I personally would not do that. I would walk into Algeria and go in and head into Libya that way. But I don't understand this decision. I have no problem at all, to be clear, with triggering Suez. And in fact, if our hand is if the U.S. hand is that terrible, scoring Europe AR1 so you can trigger Suez AR2 actually makes a little bit of sense, but doing it that way doesn't. And now he's going to make it as difficult as possible for Chris to get scoring. Chris to get presence here. So my play if I were Chris, would be to take France and head on into Algeria. Although we're going to lose the race to Libya now, I guess we need to put one in Israel as well to potentially get presence via Jordan. Chris gave up an Asia Dom. Oh my goodness, and he had Middle East. I don't understand any of this. I don't know. I just don't understand why you don't take Egypt with Suez or use a 3-op to take Iran back. Yeah. And like I was saying, turn one, Lebanon went multiple ARs on both sides without being filled. Philippines was taken. Okay, there it was. And now D-stall is spaced. I'm not sure what was discarded. Chris hits the roll. Sakov's discarded D-stall spaced. I don't think it really matters which one is which. I personally would play China and hold D-stall through. Okay, there's Truman to take France back, which makes sense. Yeah, protecting Asia Dom makes sense. Okay, so Asia, comfortable Asia Dom here for Browning. presenceless Middle East Dom, and then Europe Dom for Chris, but De Gaulle's still around and still coming turn 3. I just don't understand. I don't understand at all why Chris played that turn the way he did. His hand was not good. He had D-Stall, Suez, Sock Govs, 2 scoring cards. D-Stall, Suez, Sock Govs, Middle East. Okay, and now he's going to play China. And see this, I don't understand that. I don't understand why you would discard and hold something other than D-Stall. I guess maybe he held D-Call because it's not in Browning's hand turn 3. But Browning gets a monster. He gets all 3 other 4-ops. Also draws Defectors. Nasser, probably not a card he'll need. He'll probably play that for the 1-op. So yeah, I think this is an easy purge with D-Call in the U.S. hand. Okay, yeah, and okay, Nasser, the headline. It's, I suppose, because thinking about containment, which would kind of neuter the purge. All right, I'm a little confused by the Nasser play. I think I like purge a little bit better, even with containment coming. But perhaps Browning was counting cards and realized that with containment, the purge just wasn't going to be that bad. Okay, so he goes Nasser to ensure that he's going to get to Libya first. NORAD fills up Japan to stop Dom. That's the other thing, is the China play to take Malaysia didn't change the domination situation, so I didn't really like it. Yeah, and there's Saudi. I think 1 Libya is fine. Chris needs to start filling up Africa. Left side of the board is blank here. He's got an extra one in South Africa, but needs to make the walk this turn. Also needs to establish presence in the Middle East, and he does. Okay, so he does both those things. This, I think, could be a space roll, but yeah, sure. Just take Libya and start marching toward control. Don't know that we've seen special here, so NATO might need to go to space. I do know De Gaulle. Oh, man, there's Asia. Okay, so Chris redraws at turn 3 and gets out of it for 0 VPs. I'd have considered spacing that rather than giving the VP. But, okay. I'm fine spacing NATO here, but I definitely do want to space. Okay, and there, yeah, we've got a space now to stop the double. Nope, don't like that. Don't like that decision from Browning. I would much rather see Browning space either Defectors or NATO to try and stop the double space and get the problem card out. Defectors is just 1 VP, not really a problem. But NATO with De Gaulle in Chris's hand means probably going to have a tough time contesting Europe with no access into Western Europe. No access to France, I should say. So if I were Chris, I might space de Gaulle here. Normally I don't like spacing de Gaulle, particularly under containment, but you really don't. You need to take France back and take Algeria, and spacing now could give you a headline peak. So a 4 optical, probably not a good space race candidate, but you can't play it yet. Okay, there now. I don't understand why Algeria has not been taken. Algeria needs to be taken here by the U.S. side. I don't think I like giving NATO either. I think I'd much rather space it. Okay, Vietnam fixes and takes South Africa. Okay, here we go, turn 4, and there's a D-stall redraw. So D-stall will get Browning into South America. That's a huge redraw. OPEC, also huge. That's going to be 5 points, actually maybe 6 with Venezuela. Puppets will go safely to space. Sadat, mildly annoying. Che won't do anything. This is a great hand for Browning, despite no power cards and no 4s, because he will get into South America. Defectors is gone, so he can feel free to headline D-stall if he so desires, although he may not want to do that in fear of a grain headline, which then gives him a coup target. Yeah, I think Quag is better. Oh, and there's Kennedy. So what is Kennedy going to get rid of? Chris, certainly hoping for Middle East. We will bury you, De Gaulle, Southeast Asia, SOCGovs, Lib, Cambridge 5. Okay, so a pretty terrible hand, but not Middle East scoring. So yeah, this should be an easy Africa coup. And then we should see D-stall AR2. And then Browning will hope that Chris does not have VOA. Okay, he does get out in 1. So D-stall, yeah, 1 there for sure. 1 Vietnam is probably fine. And then 1 Syria, I think, is okay. Ooh, taking 1 out of North Korea. I'd rather give up Syria, I think. But okay. Yeah, and this is threatening in South America, threatening in Africa as well as Central. So the only good response to this is VOA. If Chris doesn't have it, there's not much you can do. I guess you take Algeria in that case. And then Browning will immediately spread out in South America. I would go probably 1 Brazil, 1 Argentina, and then maybe another into Venezuela to prep for OPEC. With Che. Yeah, you could try realignments here. Desperation realigns is reasonable. Yep, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Okay, hits on Venezuela. So a good start. Misses on Algeria, misses again on Algeria on even realigns. Okay, so Gonna go with China here. I don't know if I love Colombia, but okay, you're gonna give up Milops in exchange for getting. If you give up the coup in Colombia, you'll get Nigeria, but you're gonna give up Milops and potentially the top half of South America. And you have Panama Canal, Sadat. Those are annoying cards to have. Puppets is unplayable here. Fidel is an event. OPEC is an event. So you really don't have many ops here to play with, is my issue with the Colombia play. I think I would have rather just filled the bottom half South America. You already have 2 of the 3 cards that get the U.S. into the top half of South America in your hand. Obviously OAS there, and then of course Junta for both players. Okay, big coup there. Okay, so yes, Jordan, you're right. Browning at this point is thinking, okay, I'm going to give Panama anyway. Even though he doesn't have to, he could space puppets and hold both Panama and Sadat to next turn. Could do that, but he's not going to. Oh, no, I don't like this. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go Fidel and hope to eat a coup in Cameroon and then event Che. So just get the most out of Che. The problem is there's 5 there in Colombia, and there's no guarantee that your roll back in Cameroon is going to be high enough to get it back. And then even if it is, you've got annoying one-op, unplayable card, and must event and left in your hand. I think Che is much better suited for using for ops here. Yeah. I think this play is too cute by half from Browning. I think he needs to just use the ops, get it to Nigeria and Argentina, then take care of your obligations. Trigger OPEC for nice 5 EP, space puppets, and then you're going to hold the 2 1-ops. That would be my play. Okay, so there's the coup with nuke subs. All right, so Che coup, okay, rolls a 6 and a 4. Okay, well, that worked out very well for Browning. So he clears out Colombia. But again, now you can't play Panama. You still don't want to play Sadat and give up on Middle East control. So you're still triggering OPEC and spacing puppets and holding the 2 bad 1-ops. You're not taking Nigeria here. You've got to take 5 EP. So you won the coup war in Cameroon, so congratulations, Browning, but you're not going to be able to take Nigeria this turn. Or at least I wouldn't. I would hold Sadat in hopes of scoring a Middle East control, which would be GG when you compare it with OPEC, when you add OPEC. Okay, well, forget about Middle East control. There goes ABM, and now OPEC just 4 VP, still worth the event though. Wow, huge roll there in Libya. And the Pope is a nice event as well, but absolutely nothing Browning can do about it. He will space. Hit the roll on puppets to stop the double. Yeah, but you could use Sadat to take Nigeria, but I wouldn't. I like the space shot because I don't want to be holding puppets in Panama in my hand with no China for next turn. Those are 2 problem cards. Okay, and there we go. He's just going to go 3 into Poland and push hard there. But okay, here we go. Turn 5. Cultural is a quite reasonable headline. Gets China back. OAS will presumably be UN'd, but then you're still giving up Panama and Sadat. So yeah, I guess you're headlining cultural. You are UNing OAS, probably giving Sadat and holding Panama would be my guess, unless we see Junta here. But yeah, and we've got one-ops all across the board here, and no way to really get arms race off even without cooing with multiple one-ops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 one-ops in hand. Now, of course, 2 were held. Oh, wow, and there's EEU to give Browning to give Chris, rather, Poland. Okay, Browning tries the one-op coup, misses on the roll. Yeah, and if cultural hadn't been invented, this would be a prime time to jam East Germany with Browning with having such terrible ops. But he does have China, so with a jam here would just be easily met by a 4 into East Germany with China. So Central here, right now, I believe is 4. And so the question is, do you want to take Dom? I don't think I do. I think I would just score it now if I were Browning. No. I would just score this now for 4 before it becomes 2 with Mexico. I think would be my play. But okay, wants to take Africa Dom and then spread out in South America. Although again, I certainly would have scored Africa if I had it and if I were Chris. I certainly would have scored South America if I had it if I were Chris. We don't even have a 2-op here to take both Nicaragua and Haiti. So we're not getting Dom in Central. I think I would have scored Central right there, while the U.S. was presenceless. And I don't know. Could use China to go Nicaragua, Haiti, and then to Chile or to Uruguay even. That is a possibility. But then again, we still only have 1-ops to follow up. Yeah, so we have 5 1-ops in our hand and a scoring. Okay, and there's South America. And again, another mistake by Chris. Chris needed to score South America before Browning took presence. I would have headlined it over EEU, certainly. I think it's a much better headline than EEU. Just get that out for 0. Okay. Now, Browning will take a presenceless domination of Central, which is worth 6 if he can get it off. Presumably, Chris now needs to just accept that he is dominated and take Mexico, make the damage only 4. Yeah. South America needed to be the headline there. I don't understand that play at all. I don't understand that at all. That needed to take Mexico. And there was no rush to space there. It doesn't give any VPs. Browning thinking about a summit event. He would be rolling at +2, but not nearly worth it in this particular case. If DEFCON were to be raised, I absolutely would be triggering it, but Salt is in the discard. What I'd love to see is how I learned to end this turn. Jack up DEFCON to 5, and Browning tries Summit next turn for the win against your potential East Germany realigns with Green. That would be fun, but that's not what's going to happen. Yeah, just +2. 3 Doms to Chris's 1. Okay, Jam of Iran. Doesn't really do anything, but Chris can't. But Browning can't respond to it. Yeah, there is no such thing as Southeast Asia domination, even if you are ahead in the region. Okay, so now Iran flips over, but Middle East still 4 VPs. Will become even once Sadat is played, but now Browning presumably will give up OAS rather than giving up Sadat. Chris also has to coup. I'm absolutely giving OAS here if I'm Browning. With both America scored and Middle East not scored and potentially a victory for me, I'm absolutely not giving Sadat. Yeah, Chris playing like somebody who's got Middle East. But he's down 6 countries to 3, so he needs to flip a battleground here. Sadat's the only way. Or obviously Brush War, hitting a high roll. Thank you for watching, Jordan. AI War. Oh my goodness. And AI War hits to end the game. That card should have been spaced instead of Portuguese. But yes, I agree. I don't think I've ever seen AI War ending the game. Thanks everybody for watching. I know this one not that exciting, a pretty easy steamroll, but congratulations to Browning, who will advance to the next round. So good for him, and we will be back at a later date with some more Twilight Struggle. I don't have anything on the calendar at the moment. I'm trying to get Atlantic League, my Atlantic League series, the remainder of that, scheduled against Harry. I'd love to play game 2 of that tonight, but I'm not sure of his availability, so we'll see. But until next time, this is Justin Abramson. That was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.